doing multiplying and dividing today. Which actually, of all that we're going to do, is probably as easy as it's going to get. And the rest is, please help us, don't tell us. Alright, so we are multiplying and dividing rationals. Alright, well, rationals are fractions, so we're dealing mainly with fractions. Let's recall, well, how do we even do fractions? Well, if we had 5 and 3/4, and I was multiplying that by 2, and let's say 1/3. How would I do that?
Make it improper.
First, make it improper. So I multiply those, add, and I get 23/4 times, do the same thing here, 7/3. I'll see if I can cross cancel, can I? Can I do any cross canceling?
No.
No. So, what do?
Multiply, which
Multiply.
is 161, I think.
And that's good. We like improper fractions in algebra class. We don't need to make that. We don't like improper, or the mixed numbers. We like improper fractions much better. So that's fine. What if I had something like this, like 7/3 times 9/14? How would we do that?
You can cross cancel 7 and 14 and 9 and 2.
Yeah, cross cancel these. What does the 7 become?
A 1.
And the 14?
2.
And the 3 and 9?
1 and 3.
Yeah, 1 and 3.
Good job. So 3/2. So basically what our goal is for all of these algebraic ones that we're about to do, we want to do them like these. So how are we going to do that? We're going to factor, and just like the last few that we just did our daily quiz on, factor and cancel. And then one more step though, multiply. Okay? We will actually multiply those. Alright, well what are these going to look like? Let's get to our, I gotta get to my page. Let's say if I have 3/x times 4/x squared. Is there anything to factor in the first fraction?
No.
Second fraction, no. So top times top, I get
12.
And good job. We add our exponents. So that one was pretty simple.
And that's it.
That's it. Done. There's nothing else that we could do. Now, this one appears to be that there isn't much that we can do. Can I factor this?
No.
And I definitely can't factor that. Nothing to factor here. Is this part right here where we actually can factor? It just doesn't look like that we
Can you
can.
factor out a -1?
I can't. Well, I could factor out a -1, but that I want the highest power of x to be positive, and it already is. I can factor that. It's like this. If I had x squared minus 1, could I factor that?
Yes.
Yeah. What do I get?
X minus 1 or plus 1.
And x minus 1. Yeah. Just because I have a 4 in front doesn't change anything.
So 2x.
2x minus 1 and 2x plus 1. Well, how am I going to write all this? It's going to get really sloppy if you just cross these out and write it again. So I'm going to factor it in steps. Always working down, because it's easier to read. Especially when we get into solving these, you're going to want to work down, because if you have a string of equal signs, it'll get really confusing really fast. Alright, so now that I've factored, I can cross cancel. And I find it helpful to add parentheses if they're not there, so that I remember that this is an entire group. I can't just cancel one little piece of a group. I couldn't just cancel the 2x. I have to cancel all or none. And I can cancel 2x plus 1 with 2x plus 1. There's one more thing I can cancel.
3 and the 6x.
3 and the 6.
Really?
The 6 becomes a,
2.
and the 3 becomes a 1. Now I do multiply top times top, bottom times bottom.
It's just
So,
1 times.
so this is a 1, right?
Yes, big on 1.
So what do I have in my numerator?
2.
2x. This x did not cancel. It's still there. And then in the denominator, I have,
2x minus 1.
yep. And I can't cancel those two x's. Why not?
I was gonna say that. Yeah.
Yeah, that subtraction makes it so that I cannot do that.
So these are as hard as
The multiplying and dividing ones are just one extra step than what we've already been doing. It's when we get into adding and subtracting that we want to pull our hair out. Let's do one more multiplication. Did we all get that?
Yep.
Yeah.
We good? Okay. I wouldn't want anyone to freak out unnecessarily. If it's necessary, I'm okay with that. All right, so let's say I have this. Lots of factoring in this one. Let's see if we can find it all. How about this x minus 2?
No.
No. So I'm just going to copy that down. I'll put it in parentheses. And the 8x also does not factor. Times. How about this numerator right here?
Yeah, multiply that by negative
You
8.
can take out a negative 8.
Yeah. I want the highest power of x to be positive, so I'll factor out a negative 8. So inside I'm going to have 8
X.
Minus 2. Plus 2, sorry.
plus 2. Because I factored out a negative. So that will change sign.
That's
And my denominator.
x minus 2, x plus 2.
I mean, we couldn't get much nicer than that, right?
No.
My x minus 2's cancel.
Could the 8s cancel?
Yes, the 8's cancel.
That's
Now, I
one
don't want to
and
lose that negative. I still have a negative there. I might want to circle like negative right
So
here.
negative 1 and 1. And then the x
We're
plus
almost.
2 and the, yeah.
That x plus 2's also. You want to make sure you cancel and reuse everything that's possible. So we have what in the numerator?
The
Negative 1.
Yep.
And then X.
1.
X.
Done. So that reduced completely. Now, we talked briefly about this when we first started this chapter, and that's restrictions. Restrictions are things that x cannot be. Okay? And in this case, if I see right at the end here, we'll think about the end. Technically, I can't have a 2 or a negative 2, but we canceled all that. I'm going to look at this, and technically x can't be 0, because then I'd have 0 in the denominator. And we'll talk more about restrictions on the next few examples. Dividing. Let's get to dividing. Are we good on multiplying?
Yeah,
Is this good enough, or do you need one more?
I'm good.
We're good. I heard goods. All right, dividing. Let's recall how we divide with fractions. So if I had 3/4, we'll do an easy one, divided by 1 and 1/2. This one's fine. I keep. Well, I'm not ready to flip. What do I need to do with this? Okay, so it's 3/2.
Flip.
Keep, flip, change. So 3/4
Times
times
2/3.
2/3. And I can cancel the 3's,
1 and then 2 and 1.
and I'll get a half. Top times top, bottom times bottom. So that equals a half. So we're going to do the same thing with the algebraic expressions. What they will try to get you to do, I promise you, they're going to try to get you to cross-cancel at the division step before you flip. You have to. You can only cancel through multiplication. Do not cancel if you're still on the division step. All right, so what are these going to look like? If I had 3x cubed over 2 divided by negative 15x to the 5th. Now, what's the assumed denominator?
1.
1.
Okay, if it's not written, it's a 1. So, nothing to factor on any of these. So keep. Flip this one. So 1 over negative 15x to the 5th. I could leave the negative in the numerator if I want. And actually, I will do that. I'll just leave it in the numerator. And change to multiplication. Now I can cross cancel. Now that I have key flip changed, I can cross cancel, so I can cancel the 3 in the 15. The 3 becomes a 1 in the 15, a 5. And the 2 and 1 don't. What about the x's?
No, because they're not. They don't
They
have.
add? Oh, never mind. I don't do that.
No, you can't. Can you cancel those?
I can cross cancel them. I'll get x squared. That does get sloppy. Sometimes I like to just wait to do that kind of thing till the very end. Yes, Jacob?
I'm sorry, my thing that I zoned out, but why is there a positive 15 all of a sudden?
Because when I flipped,
You just move the
I
negative.
just kept the negative in the numerator. Because we end up moving our negatives to the numerator anyway, so
Okay.
it doesn't matter. You just move it at the end. All right. All right, so we keep and we flip. Nothing to factor, right?
Right.
So you don't always have to factor. If there's nothing to factor, then don't argue with
Can you
it.
divide in the division stage? I mean, can you factor in the division stage?
Yes. In fact, we're going to do one where that's advisable. All right, so we're going to flip. So 1 over y plus 2. We keep flip change. Again, don't be surprised if they put... Do you see what they did here? They're really trying to get you to cross cancel right here, aren't they? It's very, very tempting. Nothing cancels. Don't be surprised if that happens. So we get y plus 3 over...
Y squared plus 4.
No.
No, the,
You got it's y squared plus 2y.
There ain't no y squared.
I know, but y times y.
If I actually multiply this out, look right up here. If I did y plus 2 times y plus 2, no, I do not get y squared plus 4.
Yeah, never mind.
I do y times both of those. What do I get?
Y squared
plus
plus
4.
2y plus 2y plus 4.
So I get y squared plus 4y plus 4. Now, let's agree on something. That's a lot of extra work. Let's just agree we leave it in factored form. Unless the directions specifically tell you to expand. If the directions say this word, expand the answer, then you're going to have to do this thing up here. Okay? If it doesn't say that, which I don't think any of the directions in your book actually say to expand, you just leave it in factored form and this is fine.
Who will ever ask us to expand?
Like Algebra 2 will sometimes have that direction.
It almost
I don't think your
seems to
Algebra 1 book ever has that direction. Okay, yes, Jacob.
why would not the exponent on the y become a negative? Because I mean, whenever you move it down,
I'm doing the steps of division.
Okay.
Keep,
okay,
keep,
you're not moving
flip.
it down.
I'm not moving it down. I'm doing the steps of the division.
And in the answer, could we put y plus 2 squared instead of having to put that in the factor form?
You mean,
Y plus 3.
if I'm understanding you, I'm thinking you're saying this.
Yes.
Yes, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, let's do one where there's lots of factoring.
Great.
That's going to be a minus. We're going to divide. Give you a moment to copy that all down.
So it's bottom a minus b, right?
This is a 6.
Oh, okay.
That's a 6?
That's a 6. I realize I'm a slob.
Yeah.
Yep, you need to take some penmanship lessons.
Okay. We've dealt with that all year, and you'll deal with it the rest of your high school career. So
You won't do it no more.
your other math teacher will then be a slob too. It's a math teacher thing.
Math teacher.
They said the heck with grammar.
It's like a requirement. It's like on the graduation requirements for math
You have to write
teachers.
sloppy.
You have to have a certain level of sloppy, or you can't be a math
You
teacher.
must got
You also can't be able to read or spell. So if you can spell, they're like, sorry, we're transferring you to the English program.
And I'm like, no!
I'm real sloppy.
Okay, anyways.
Perfect.
Danny would.
Now, we have lots of factoring to do. You can, listen, You can do this in little steps, but I find it's faster and easier if you do keep, flip, change at the same time as your factor. So I'm going to go ahead and factor this first fraction, and I get a plus 5, a plus 2, and I'll throw this a minus 6 in parentheses just so that I remember that it is, or minus 6, a minus 6 in parentheses just so I remember. I'm going to change to multiplication. Now, when I do this one's factoring, I'm going to remember that this one's going to go to the top and this one to the bottom. I'll just keep, flip, change it right away so I don't fall into that temptation of canceling when I'm not supposed to. So I'm going to factor this one, but my answer for that is going to go at the top, the numerator, because keep, flip, change. So I factor that, I get a minus 6 and a plus 6. And I put that in the numerator right away because it's a division problem. And then I'll move that a plus 5 to the denominator. Now I'm ready to go ahead and cancel.
Mr. Kane.
A plus 5s, a minus 6. Now when we cancel, remember these are technically becoming 1s, right?
Right.
So in my numerator, I have a plus 2 times a plus 6, and in my denominator, a 1. So I could expand this. If I expanded it, I would get this. That's a 6, right?
Mhm.
So what in the world happened there?
I don't know.
A squared plus 6a plus 2a plus, I can't even read my own writing. So a squared plus 8a, that's what happened. I was like, oh, it's going to be 8a. I was jumping ahead. All right, so that would be the answer. Expanded, that's the expanded answer, if for some reason you were asked that. But this answer right here, I don't really need that one. That's probably what your book's going to look for. Noah, you had a question.
Yeah, when you did the a minus 6 and a plus 6, you said other side, right there, yeah. Did it matter if the plus is in the front, in the first one, or in the last one?
Nope.
Okay.
It matters that you get, if I were to multiply, if I get the thing I started with back.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to throw 4 examples on the board. I want you to do them in your notes. Try to stay a step ahead of me as I work them.
Yeah, that's possible.
Okay? So I will write slower.
That's impossible.
All right? Maybe a little bit.
Instead of EX, can you put EX?
Guys,
You just attacked me.
Gentlemen.
Jeez, like, how am I knowing you? What the?
Did you expect that this lesson was going to be so easy, Mr. King?
You guys are fine.
I know, but did you think it was going to be easy?
As long as you understood factoring. Oh gosh. Do you want to die? What is factoring? You can join Trey in the graveyard over there.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
They're all flatly.
What are we doing? Disgusting. I know. What?
Any kind of right.
40.
Noah, are you writing these down and doing them?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's doing the first one. Yeah, that's right.
Yes, is that for the final answer?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I'm doing them.
Alright, can you try?
I'm doing them like that.
Oh, a senior victim.
That's the question.
is this in your Smurf?
You may try asking a question.
Is this
I will probably not answer. I know.
Okay, so the last quiz I got this on because,
You don't know where the center is.
yeah, but this is the main, so we're actually like two.
A second one.
Yes.
A second one.
Look at this.
Right.
Where did you get it?
Like,
Okay.
squares.
I skim the side of my nose.
He's like
Okay.
sprung
We like-
shot.
Trust your instincts.
I don't know my
You broke.
instincts.
You don't have instincts, you're tragically born without them. Okay, if you can finish up this first one, then I can start writing answers. I'll try to do it slowly.
Just wanted to
Oh.
try.
There we go.
Has everyone started on the second one, which is just below here?
No.
I'm on the third one.
Do we have to expand or not?
No.
Yeah.
What is that supposed to be, Mr.
I don't know what
It'd be
that
8 and
is.
5.
What do you mean?
Well, you first drew a 5, and I was like, that can't be right, but I figured out what it was.
Okay. Just do X 5 and then parentheses X 7. Answer. Okay.
I can't help you sit around beside me.
Dang, okay.
Huh?
No, what's the right answer?
And he said he was gonna work slow.
Yeah, you said
Please work.
you're working slowly. Now I'm writing down.
Just finish this up.